Welcome back, guys, to the channel. So we are back talking about Littorio. Now, in my last video, I talk about Littorio as well, but I thought that maybe you guys want more convincing in buying. I don't know if the discount is still on right now or not. I hope it's still, it's still on so that you guys can have the opportunity to get this Littorio, which is a clone of Roma. Now, this game is going to be a great game. I just played this before recording this, so I still roughly remember what I do in this battle. So we spawn on the left side of the map shards. Now, if you look at the matchmaking right now, we are facing quite good matchmaking in the sense that we are top tier. Also, there are 3 destroyers, but only no torpedo boats. So except for Buki, so it's roughly okay. Now we have a submarine as well, the S189. But I think that it is able to be dealt with quite quickly with our 10-kilometer depth charge range. So if we look at our spawn position, our U190 is located on our flank. So that means that there is a high chance of probability that the enemy submarine is on the left side of the cap, or essentially it's on our side of the map, in my side of the map. So if you look at the mini-map closely, you can find that only our friendly Littorio, another Littorio, is supporting me with our submarine trying to scout ahead. So we are alone here with 3 people with 1 submarine, so it doesn't really count as support ships. And we find the Akizuki here. Now this is quite a bit of trouble. We don't have any destroyers to spot this Akizuki, and obviously our submarine could not fight the Akizuki on the level playing field. So we take a pot shot at this Nagato while our submarine is submerged and running, and we deal quite a good amount of damage for 14,280. So this guns is actually, although it's not that the most accurate battleship guns, it still is quite accurate in the sense that if you can overmatch battleships like this Nagato here, you can deal massive amounts of damage. So it's not that inaccurate. You can see here 14 kilometers away. Our shell travel time is also quite fast at only 7 seconds, 7.5, and we deal another 12.7k against the Nagato. Now this is actually the problem with tier 7 battleships in general, but also the problem with Nagato is that their armor is very soft if you have 381 millimeter caliber guns above. And obviously this Littorio has 381 millimeter guns, so we can overmatch essentially every part of the deck armor, every part of the upper belt. So here the Akatsuki make a little bit of misplay by spotting and shooting and being spotted, but sadly our back guns are unable to connect with the ship. Now this Nagato is still sailing roughly broadside on, and we fired our 2 front main guns. We deal quite a reasonable damage for 6 shells with 7,900 damage. So you can see there that this, Colorado is also has the same problem actually. They are damage farm, I guess. Now, Littorio at least have some citadel protection. You have to be very high pen to be able to citadel Colorado, but the Nagato one, you can citadel them easily if you have big guns. Now if you look at the map, 3 enemy battleships and an Akizuki here on this side, and I ping location of the map that I thought where the submarine is, because I am spotted without the Akizuki spotting me. So yeah, this sub is somewhere near our vicinity. So there are 5 ships, but our team decided to send Nagato in Colorado to help us. So we have 4 battleships here, which is a really strong defense line against their 3 battleships. Now our Atago is knife fighting I don't know, I cannot see from the minimap, but essentially the Atago will shortly die while we are in quite a bit of trouble here. I am broadside onto the North Carolina. Luckily he aims quite late, and yeah. Oh yeah, our Atago is fighting the area, okay, and managed to deal with the Colorado. Managed to deal with it. Now I focus on this Kizuki because BDs are the most important target. So even though the Zetan is closer and much more damage that I could get, but I decided to just shoot the Kizuki. Now, luckily, since Zetan is a tier 8, the range of the secondary doesn't really reach 12 kilometers. If the Zetan was like a Schlieffen or a Prince Ruprecht, we will be on a hail of secondary fire. So Pensacola against the 381 millimeter shells actually has quite decent armor, I think. Obviously, we can still overmatch them, but it is quite a thin ship if they are pointing their bow towards us. Luckily, our submarine managed to get 2 torpedoes, good torpedo salvo, and managed to finish the Pensacola off. So yeah, we are just trying to dwindle down the HP while our other flanks the chasing the carrier. So that is not a great idea. So our friendly submarine uses submarine surveillance and managed to find the S1, the enemy submarine. Now the enemy submarine managed to go to surface, so the submarine surveillance consumable cannot detect the enemy sub. So I decided to chat them and tell them that tell the submarine that it has surface, and decide to just drop 2 depth charge in the vicinity of the submarine. We managed to get a good hit on this submarine by a direct hit and 1 splash damage. So it is quite a lot of damage you can see there from the HP of the submarine. So my ASW will be reloaded soon, but sadly we don't have the spotting now. But I decided to just use minimap and estimated where the enemy submarine will go, which is running away from our submarine. So I decided to go to shoot there, and we managed to deal another splash damage. This will be a permanent flooding, I think. You can see there. Because the enemy submarine, obviously the damage control has been finished. So the enemy submarine is on very low health, while I am trying to deal with this Nagato here that I have flanked us from the 1 to 2 line. And we managed to find the enemy submarine, or our friendly submarine managed to find it. And I know that my submarine will die, and this depth charge will not finish the submarine, so I decided to just shoot it, and we managed to destroy the enemy submarine. Okay, so looking at the sit rep, we are winning, but we lose in caps. Our team position is quite bad, but overall, if our northern flank of teams can deal with the enemy carriers and the King George V, it will be okay. It's fine. So I am trying to cut my way through to the B cap. Now this is quite risky because I'm exposing my broadside to this Nagato, North Carolina, and all the other battleships. But I decided to not shoot just so that I could be more safe in this gateway. Now as the Nagato on the flanks move behind the island, I decided to shoot, which means that most of the enemy battleship is in my front sector. while angling towards the Akizuki, which is smoked up and firing at my northern flank. Now this Zeton here is actually quite low, but sadly we cannot shoot them because he managed to run away to the islands. But this Nagato here will do. This VIII boy will be killed by us, dealing very minor amount of damage because our friend have dealt huge amounts of that damage prior to my salvo. So here we have an option here, or whether or not I will continue pushing towards B or turning out and trying to deal with this Nagato on the flank. I decided to just keep going forward and try to clear this island so that I could shoot this Nagato on the broadside, while also trying to keep in mind my angling towards the North Cal and the Zeton here. But the North Cal is not necessarily in a great position for us to try and to engage this Nagato, but this broadside is too good to pass on. But luckily the North Cal just shoot as I shoot this Nagato, so that means that I could try to re-angle for this back turret. Really it's not really that great of the damage, and we actually bounced the AP. So yeah, it's really a good trade. Now it's obviously a gamble. If that back turret hit our citadels, we will be in a massive amount of trouble. On this Nagato, I think that this salvo should finish the Nagato because he is already on low health, and actually my dispersion is looking really good. You can see there very flat, so I'm assuming, and yes, we get 1/pan, 3 pans, and one of that pans is a citadel. So I am trying to right now go to the B cap and try to contest it just to stop the point bleed, and our northern flank team managed to deal with the Ryujo on the enemy team. And so we have the ship advantage, and shortly we will have the cap advantage. Now I deal quite a huge amount of damage to this non-angled North Carolina. Come on guys, it's 2024 already. Your North Cal, you need to angle those, especially in the close range fights like this, right? It's about what, 8 kilometers, 10 kilometers. You need to angle in North Cal. Even I need to angle against the North Cal. So yeah. But obviously the King George V, if it is a tier 7 battleship, so we can overmatch their armor. So I don't really care much about his angling. So we deal huge amounts of damage there, 5 digits. And I think this salvo should finish this KGB out while we are helped by Bird. Actually, our friendly Littorio managed to deal the final blow to the King George V, so it's not me. Okay, so the Zeton here has tried to switch to HEs because he knows that he cannot pan us, especially since Littorio has a really good armor, especially if angled like this and in close ranges. Now this North Cal, I think he is also between rock and a hard place, right? Because he needs to angle to my friend here, Littorio, and me, so I get the more flat broadside of him. The Akizuki is farming us, but because of our armor is quite high in value, I don't really care much about the damage of this Akizuki other than setting us on fire. I'm sure he can get chip damage on my superstructure, but shortly after this my superstructure will be saturated and it won't be deal as much damage as normal. I decided to try and deal with this North Carolina. Sadly, the North Cal still live and pop his heal, which is quite sad. And I don't know who spots this Akizuki. Maybe he tries to reverse too quickly outside of smoke or something, but our carrier managed to deal a huge amount of damage, and I shot a salvo towards him. Barely should, if my dispersion is better, I could have killed him outright, but sadly we only deal half of his HP. So right now I am in expecting Akizuki Torps, because Akizuki Torps are about 10 kilometers and he is inside of that range. So I decided to just expect his torpedo and angle, but unfortunately the VIII here actually also dropped a torpedo, so I am in possible crossfire of torpedoes here. So I decided to just bail and gamble, since Akizuki Torps are still maybe quite far away. Now that's we only have, the enemy only have 2 ships left, the Akizuki and the VIII. Both are in very low health, so I from this we could we could deduce that we will win. Now there is 2 enemy left and we have 3 kills, so I am actually aiming for the Kraken here, especially since both of them is very low on health. So I want to deal the final blow on both of these ships. Now the burn uses interceptors, so even the fighters doesn't spot the Akizuki, but since the burn is so close, he managed to send another squadron of skip bombers and managed to spot the Akizuki, and we deal 2 overpans, which kills the Akizuki. Now I also expect Akizuki Torp here, so I turn out in case and keep angling towards the Akizuki's death position in case of a torpedo sent towards me, because Akizuki, even though if he already earlier dropped torpedoes, he has torpedo reel booster, so I am not taking any chances because I want my Kraken, right? I don't want to die here so close to my Kraken. So yeah, our burn managed to scout VIII here, and oh boy, luckily I didn't shoot in the first one. I keep my patience, and my team's guys now managed to deal little amounts of damage, and I finally want to shoot him, and we pan his superstructure and deal massive damage and get our Kraken unleashed. So yeah, it's really good, right? We have high caliber, we have Kraken unleashed, we make 1 million credits, 16,000 XP, 4,500 PXP. Now this with boosters, right? If you buy the Littorio, you will have a month of XP gain 200% plus free XP gain 200% alongside with 200% commander XP. So that's why I'm playing Littorio as much as possible. I want to maximize that bonus, right? I want to train my Luigi Sansonetti. So we you can see here 166,000 damage, and we are 2.7k base XP while gaining Dreadnought, Kraken Unleash, and high caliber. So yeah, we deal, luckily the aircraft carrier actually doesn't really focus us that much, because obviously the aircraft carrier is being chased by the majority of our team. So here is the credits screen. You can see there the modifier of the the bonus 200% XP, and this one is also 200% XP, I think. Oh, it's actually 50%. Okay, so 50%, and I think it's also the modifier here is 40% maybe. Bonus package plus 5%. Okay, so yeah, it's there is some bonuses, but obviously it depends, right? Depends on you using your bonuses well or not. Anyways, that is all for this video. I hope you guys are enjoying this video, and I hope you see you guys later. Maybe in the next time I will play the Stephen next. I have a great game that I want to show you, but because this game is more better than that game, I decided to just show you this. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.